National Signing Day in college football.
For every team except Michigan.
Oh.
For Michigan, this is National Signing Day. Oh. But we'll get to that in the next hour.
That's right. Today's National Signing Day for colleges. And yesterday, or last night, Lane Kiffin was doing a press availability.
No. That's not his name.
Oh, he's got a different name now? What is his name now? Oh.
He's the Portal King.
Excuse me. The Portal King, Lane Kiffin, did a media availability where he got into, talking about National Signing Day and how big of a deal it is. And then he pops out a joke because Lane Kiffin has quickly become one of my favorite guys in all of sports.
Which is weird that I Yell at Clouds guy likes the guy that photoshopped himself on Joe Exotic's face with a tiger that had Portal written on its forehead.
And he said, or he made a joke about Texas A&M. Texas A&M, I told you about this. You had Texas A&M getting the number one class in the recruiting cycle, and there were reports that they had paid anywhere between $30 and $40 million to secure this class, and all in name, image, and likeness money. And Lane Kiffin had a very good point that there are schools out there that have way more resources than we do, and we're going to lose this battle.
Of course you are.
We're going to keep losing this battle, and the NCAA has to do something. He said the NFL got it right. The NFL has it right, where you're signed to a contract. You can't go anywhere. You can't just up and leave in the middle of the season and go off to another team or transfer for next year or whatever. And they have salary caps. I don't know how in the world they would be able to put one of those in for college football, but that's what Lane Kiffin is calling for.
And I agree with him 100%. The other thing he said that I thought was so brilliant, we also have designated times when we can sign free agents. Caleb Williams just appeared at USC on Monday. First of all, as somebody that, let me put this nicely, I didn't do college so good. I don't really understand how somebody just 3 weeks into the semester goes, I go here now. I mean, did he have a Backstreet Boys backpack on? Did his parents just move into the district? Like, what? How does that happen?
Well, yeah, I mean, you've got drop dead deadlines of when you have to be registered in school, and I'm sure the deadline was probably, today or something.
I'm just going to say, if Caleb Williams could show up 3 weeks into the semester, the fact that I saw going to class as a choice
option
that I didn't have to make.
Right.
Okay. It's a new world. Just, okay.
Did they take attendance in West Virginia?
It gives me hope that I could actually go back to college.
Did they take attendance in West Virginia?
I mean, there's certain there are certain classes that, they pass around a sheet. And, hey, Billy, sign me in. There's 400 people in his class. I don't think they'll notice I wasn't there. And then there's others where you're like, there's 8 people here, so I think they'll miss me.
Right. Lane Kiffin said, we used to have the 25-player rule. You could only have 25 in a class. But even at that point, if each one of them gets $1 million, you spent $25 million on, and that's nothing to some of these big schools.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Texas A&M hadn't been throwing money around like this since Eric Dickerson was coming out of high school.
and he says, look, it's different in the NFL. The guys in the NFL, they can make the decision. I've got enough money, signed a big enough contract last time. I don't need to take all of the money to go to, Jacksonville. I can take a little bit of a break and go play for, a contender like L.A. But these are 17, 18-year-old kids who are going to look at $1 million and go, yep, that's where I'm going to school. Don't care if I play. Don't care what happens. I'm taking $1 million.
And who's surprised?
Nobody's surprised.
Do you realize that Ole Miss finished it? I think it was 22 was where I saw it in the rankings. Now, that does not include transfers. Transfers are not lumped into your
which they
ranking.
killed the transfer portal.
They were number 1 with a bullet.
Oh, yeah. They got Jackson Dart, and they got Zach Evans from TCU.
Well, if Zach Evans shows up, until I see him in a helmet, I don't. I think he's on his 6th school now, so
something like that.
I'm not going to count my chickens before they hatch there.
Right.
He's exactly right. You're going to have to legislate this somehow.
Mm-hmm.
The NCAA has done that same thing that you did with paying coaches to lose, sticking their fingers in their ears and going, nope, nothing's happening. We're fine. Now it's insanity.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot for the life of me figure out why anybody would want to be a college head coach right now. If you had options, you had NFL options, why would you sign up to do this?
Right.
Unless you're Lincoln Riley, who's the only team for 600 miles.
Mm-hmm.
And you just crush the West Coast, hang out on the beach. We're good. Everybody wants to play for me. I'm a genius. That I get. Brent Venables grinding it out in the plains. Yeah, it's going to be a tough sell for me.
Right.
And shocker of shockers, Lane Kiffin is the one that had to say it out loud.
Mm-hmm. I didn't think he was the smartest guy in the room, but I'm starting to think he is.
I'm starting to believe he is.
Right. I'm starting to think he is. Because not only is he speaking the truth about the NIL stuff, but he's also proving to be probably, what would you say, top 5 recruiter in college football right now? Aside from the money, Ole Miss
has nowhere near the money that these other schools do, and he's recruiting top 20 class. I mean, Hugh Freeze
exactly.
did. Okay, they're still replenishing the coffers from what Hugh Freeze did.
Right.
Hugh Freeze got it. He was like somebody that got a corporate credit card. He was a little loosey-goosey with how he spent things.
And then
Myrtle Beach Golf. Also, if you know, you know.
And then also weighing in on the NIL issue was Nick Saban. So he was at the Senior Bowl Summit, and he was talking about all things college football, and of course, name, image, and likeness was a part of it. And I'm going to give you this quote, and you tell me if you believe any of this or not. Nick Saban said, when we start using name, image, and likeness for a kid to come to our school, that's where I draw the line. He said, I hear these crazy people on TV saying that we are now doing it above board. We never did that. We never did it. We never cheated to get a player. We never paid players to come to our school, and now that's actually happening. People are making deals with high school players to go to their school. You believe it? You believe Nick Saban's never done that?
No.
I don't either.
I believe it's more likely that no NFL coach has ever gone, we're just not winning.
We're just going to lose games.
We're just not going to win. I love Nick Saban. I really do.
Yeah.
And I shouldn't say that. I don't love Nick Saban. I respect him as the greatest to ever do what he does.
Right.
However, if you're trying to tell me that Alabama never paid players, everybody else did, but Alabama never did, okay. I was born at night. It was not last night.
Exactly.
And they use it now, and they should.
Of course. Last year.
Just like to me, the NIL thing is just like the transfer portal. Dabo Swinney will borderline refuse to use the transfer portal. Cool, that'll be your undoing.
Mm-hmm.
It's just totally up to you. If you want to keep doing that, that's fine. You're not going to be able to contend with these teams that do, because that is a different way to accumulate talent that you're just sticking your fingers in your ears and acting like it doesn't happen. If Alabama, who has unbelievable support around the campus, is not looking at kids going, well, here's the thing. Bryce Young made $1 million before he ever threw a pass.
Right.
That is how rabid our fan base is.
Mm-hmm.
And you're doing it wrong. And I'm not going to sit here by any stretch of the imagination and say I know what I'm talking about better than Nick Saban. He really doesn't have to do it, but you should.
And he did. Remember last year when the deal happened, Nick was out there talking about Bryce Young just made $1 million. He was making all these public statements about the $1 million that Bryce Young just got. That's exactly what that was.
That's the other part of this I didn't understand. Like, did you think we couldn't see you?
Right. That was a cue.
Were you going full 4-year-old and you had a blanket over your head and thought we couldn't see you?
Right. And I think it was at the same event. I think it was at the Senior Bowl Summit that he said that last year. Or it was some symposium that he was speaking at.
I'm still just
And there's
mad.
a reason you do that. Because you want everybody to know how much money they can make coming to your school. Nick Saban's not an idiot.
No.
But I believe he thinks we are.
I'm still just mad I'm not at the Senior Bowl this week.
Oh.
I was supposed to be at that
were you?
symposium.
Okay.
Yeah, a friend of mine from Memphis is at it and was sending me stupid Snapchats.
Mm-hmm.
I was supposed to be down there hanging out with Nick Saban.
Well, you're not. You're stuck here listening to the old man yell at clouds.
I'm listening to Abe Simpson.
But next, you're going to get an opportunity to make our listeners some money, which you should be very, very happy about. Greene on Greene is coming up next.